Hello YouTube, this is NextLevelGaming, bringing you another video on, this one's going to be on kind of like how to build decks better, like how to make better decks. I'm not going to tell you what decks are good, I'm just going to say, give you some tips on deck building. And I've been up for about, like 72 hours, so I don't know if I don't make sense or if I start kind of going off on weird stuff because I'm very sleep deprived. I've had to cram for tests and a bunch of stupid stuff in the gym, all the stuff. But yeah, putting up this video. I think it's very interesting. I had to talk to someone at my locals at the box tournament at 316 that I won. There was a Dark World player who had a god-awful deck. It was terrible. I 2-0'd him in the grossest fashion ever. I don't even think I took damage in the match. It was terrible. He didn't get out one Graph. I think he resolved Graph's effect once. It was terrible. And afterwards, I asked if I could see his deck. I asked politely. I said, "Do you mind if I look at your deck and just see, what you're doing?" And his deck, as I expected, his deck was terrible. He was playing all of these cards that didn't make any sense, and it gave me an idea to do something like this, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. So, one of the things I want to talk about is people just systematically building decks around certain cards that they think are just like required to play the game. They take the word staple way too seriously. A staple just means that most decks benefit from having the cards. They're just very widely used cards. It does not mean that you need them to play a successful deck. And the first card I'm going to talk about is Monster Reborn. This is mained in almost every deck, but I've gone to YCSs without playing this card. I went to YCS LA, Los Angeles, the 100th one. I was playing Dino Rabbits, Macro Rabbits, whatever. I didn't play this card because it didn't make sense to play it. It's going to be dead too much. And going on to my next point, which is ultimately that's how you lose games, is having dead cards in your hand. One of the reasons why the Karkuri deck that I play is so good is because it does get dead hands. Every deck does. It's human to get bad hands, but they're not like dead hands. It's usually because I didn't draw like a merchant, and maybe I only had some like a cash with no Karkuris, or just cards that were dead. But the thing with that is, or like just opening with a quick is pretty bad if you don't have a kimono. But the thing is, you can draw into stuff that makes all of those cards alive. But with Macro Rabbit, if you open with Macro, and then all of your plays, you're literally like down a card. It's like drawing 5 cards. So even if you opened good, you still don't have a card because this card is literally useless. It's the same thing with Dark Worlds. You can make an argument that Dark Worlds can use Monster Reborn and do shenanigans with it and Reborn stuff and bounce it with Grapha. But ultimately, when you're trying to get off your combos, would you rather have this or like any other card in the deck? Except for like Heavy Storm, which honestly you have to run just because people do main DeFi and macro and just stupid shit like that and back row. Heavy Storm's like a must. I would literally run Heavy Storm in every single deck I played unless it was some weird ass shit. Monster Reborn, like, what does it really do for you? In a lot of decks, it's amazing. This card is unbelievable. It's an amazing card. I'm not trying to downplay it at all. I'm just saying, like, it should not, like, when you're making a deck, on like DN or whatever. I used to do this too. I would literally start by getting Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and then the Solemn duo, and it used to be a brigade. It's a duo now, and then like 2 Bottomless and like 2 Torrential, and whatever. And that's not really that good because you're basically predetermining that you're only going to have like a 25 card choice in your deck. That's not really that good. I mean, if you decide that these cards aren't working, I mean, even if I was playing with it and I decided, wow, this card's really not working for me, it would never happen because it's amazing my deck. But I mean, it's okay to cut cards like this. It's not like you don't need them to win, and you don't feel like looked down upon if you don't run it. If anything, you'll just be looked at as someone, an opinionated person. So I just wanted to talk about that. And then second is MST. This is a card a lot of people run. They've always ran it. When it was at 1, they ran it at 1. When it was at 2, they ran it at 2. It's 3. People ran it at 3. A lot of people run it at 2 and side 1. I run it at 0 and side 3. And there's a reason behind this. Some people will say, alright, well, there are a lot of decks out there, like I'll play, of course E-Dragons is dead against them. And Prophecy, it's kind of dead against them. You can't really hit the continuous spells because they'll just search for them. So that's not really it's kind of a -1 on your part. But I can understand like those arguments for you hit the stupid field spell or whatever. I mean, I understand. But I mean, what is this card really good against besides, of course, rogue decks, GKs, and Dark Worlds and all that random ass shit. But I mean, is that really what you want? I mean, are you really not beating those decks without MST? Because I stomped those decks. I mean, the problems I have are against those tough meta decks. I mean, I usually beat dragons anyway, but I mean, I probably wouldn't if I was drawing cards like this and only having 5 cards to play with. I mean, granted, I guess you could discard it for land boys, but the point is, having dead cards is so much worse than having a live card every once in a while. And I guess it depends on your locals. It depends on how many, what the decks you have there and everything. But I mean, you really have to weigh how many times you're going to play dragons, how many times you're going to play something else, how many times this is going to map against that other thing, and how many times this is going to hurt you, and how bad it's going to hurt you against dragons. Because dragons is a grind. Game 1, it is a fucking grind. Game 2 is usually okay because I can side into my stuff, and then Game 3, it depends on how the Game 1 and 2 went, but if I'm going first, Game 3, I usually just side in Mind Drains, and then 3 Mind Drains and 2 top potted dualities usually ensures that I'm going to get in my opening hand. So, I mean, that's, Game 2 and 3 are pretty easy for me, but Game 1 is a fucking grind. Getting over all of those Drago sacks, having to deal with all the pluses, everything, it is a grind, and it is a very tough Game 1 matchup for me. And I definitely, I'm not even going to say maybe, I definitely could not do it if I was short a card. I mean, there is no easy way to get around E-Dragon. It is a sick deck, it's ridiculous, it's going to hit on the ban list, don't worry guys. They're going to limit a couple of the dragons, and it's just, I mean, it's just going to destroy that deck. But, I mean, that's the point. Like, can you really risk, losing those tough matchups? Because it might give you a 1-for-1 against, some random decks that you're probably going to beat anyway. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's player preference, but, I mean, that's what I think about it. It just seems like a... Alright. So tired. And that's that. I was going to talk about Lance, because this is what I do run instead of MST. And that's, one of the things I want to talk about, is there's so many cards, that people run that they don't really think about, is MST really that much better than this card? Against any deck. Is there really any deck that MST is, that much better than this, besides, Dark World getting rid of Gates? I mean, I don't know, but I feel like against most decks that run, a standard trap lineup and everything, MST is cool. Yeah, I can get rid of their stuff. It's going to be a 1-for-1, and it's all cool, and, it's going to give me advantage. Yeah, well, this is actually going to give you the advantage. I mean, blind MST, is that really a viable solution to getting rid of back row? No. Waiting for them to bottomless or compulse, and their play's gonna be fucked up too, because if they pass up on a bottomless and then try to compulse you, and then you do this, they're messed up. Or if they if you do get a monster through, say you summon a Barkion, right, when they have a lot of background, they're alright, whatever, I'll just, I don't know what I was thinking. Beast. Wrong. I said Barking. I meant Beast. Like if you summon Beast, and maybe they'll be like, all right, that's cool, I'll let that go, and then I can get around it next turn. Maybe I have like Pulse Set or whatever. Like they'll pass up on Solemns because they think that they have so much other stuff. I mean, that's just one scenario, and it works really well because I do run those synchros, and it helps to protect them. Especially from like Dark Hole and stuff that MST has no power against. But I mean, in any way, even if you're not talking about spell and trap cards, this is still you have an 800 boost, or technically it's a decrease on your opponent, but you have that. I mean, you have the armor effect. I mean, it's just such a versatile card. I mean, I'm actually surprised I don't see play from this card in every deck. I mean, that plays a normal spell and trapper lineup. I mean, I don't know why you'd run MST over. It just seems like this is such a better card. And that's just my opinion. Maybe it's my brain dead opinion right now, but I just believe that is true. And the last card I was going to talk about was Torrential. And Torrential is a very underrated card right now. I feel like a lot of people that play normal trapper lineups, people are playing Mirror Force right now. Over Torrential. I mean, if not both, there's a lot. If you're playing enough traps, but honestly, if you're playing 3 Compulse, which you should, and 2 Solemns, and 2 Bottomless, and like 2 to 3 Chain, that's already 9 right now. So I don't know if you can really fit in 2 Tories and 2 Mirror Force. That'd be 13. That'd be a pretty insane number of traps. I mean, I only run 11, and I play a pretty control-y stun deck, so I don't know, but I opted to run Torrential over Mirror Force because of, I was using Mirror Force and it was cool. Like, there were some things, like I'd summon Ryo turn 1, and I'd be playing against Evil Swarms, which is like my worst matchup, which Ryo really helps against. Just stopping Ophion from hitting the field, and they'd go Rabbit and do their stupid vanilla shit and try to run my Rabbit over, and I just Mirror Force, and they'd be like, fuck, this sucks. And I'm like, yeah. And that play right there can sometimes win me the game, because it's very hard for them to get over Ryo without with wasting cards. Just wasting compulses and then having to do something and then hope that I don't have a response. I don't know. But if you have Ryo and traps, it's usually pretty tough, and Torrential wouldn't do that because it doesn't maintain your field presence. It just kind of nukes the field, which, if you have a Beast or if you have any really field presence, I understand how this is, kind of a worse card to play than Mirror Force, which just protects you. But you have to think about, what does Mirror Force really stop, other than that one play that I talked about? I mean, what does it really stop? It doesn't stop Draco Sack. Draco Sack will either pop it, or just, I mean, it won't do anything against Draco Sack because he has stupid faggot tokens. What does it really, I mean, against Prophecy, does it really do that much? I mean, they have Wisdom. Not that this will do anything either, but, I mean, just talking about what Mirror Force does to matchups, at least maybe they won't have gotten the Wisdom yet. Maybe, they have to summon first before they can activate a lot of their stuff. If you Torrential first, and they don't have a Wisdom yet, you can stop their whole play. But I mean, what does Mirror Force really stop against rogue matchups a lot of the time? I mean, a lot of cards in this format, they activate before they attack, or they don't attack at all, or they activate upon summon, which this won't really stop, but it'll still stop them from summoning, big XYZs and, whatever. And it's better, I mean, priority's gone too, which I don't know if people really understand. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens, right after something hits the field. Well, this this just nukes everything upon hitting the field. So, talking about, all of those stupid normal summon cards, like the Constellar's Caster. I never really understood Caster, the whole condition thing. It's really stupid. I've read other cards, and I feel like the wording's the same, or pretty damn close, but for some reason Caster is weird. But against Constellars, they'll do their double summon thing, and if they summon their stupid whatever, the compulse with legs thing, it's already too late. They can bounce their Tenki, and they can bounce your stuff. It's too late, but I mean, if you stop the normal summon monsters, or you can, whatever. I mean, it's just so much, like, I don't know, I just feel like this server is so much better than Mirror Force, but I don't see play that much, which is awesome. Like, honestly, you know, if you go to my locals, keep running Mirror Force. I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. But for the community, I really want you guys to know that this is a really good card, and I'm not seeing that much play, which is weird. And also, to go off of that, if you notice that people aren't playing Tori a lot, people will subliminally play around cards, even though they like know that they're not there. But they don't know that they're there. They think of like the worst case scenario, like, oh my god, if that's a Tori, then I lose. Oh my god, I have to like play conservatively. A lot of people don't play this card. It's probably a bottomless at the worst, maybe a compulse, I don't know. But or maybe it's just a bluff if you're playing some stupid deck that doesn't like run that sort of trap lineup, then it's probably just something stupid. But that's all I really wanted to say. I was talking about some cards and the deck building and everything, and I hope you found it interesting. I hope that you can take this knowledge and hopefully better yourself with it, because that's what this channel is all about. It really is. This channel is just all about taking all of my knowledge of the game and trying to pass it on to the community, because this glare is like killing my cards. But it's all this whole channel is about. Just I don't know. I'm probably gonna stop playing in like the next couple of years anyway, just because school is getting so intense. Just AP classes. Oh my god, it's getting crazy. So I am probably going to stop, but I want to kind of I guess document my my like journey, I guess, through this channel. I just want to really get like everything that I've ever really thought and talked about to like, you know, friends and stuff. I really want to just get that on a channel so people can like, I don't know, so people can just like take it and use it, because I mean, I've talked to a lot of people like locals and stuff. I know for a fact that I've created a lot of good players just by you know, my teachings, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. This is what I mean. I'm really tired. I'm just kind of fucked up. I'm done the video now. But thanks for watching. This is Next Level Gaming. If you liked it, like it. And if you want to see more content, just subscribe. It would help me a lot, and I would appreciate it so much. You know, I have no idea how much it would help me. Every subscriber counts. Every like matters. Every one of you